Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. I want to ask you each, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show, but you didn't? Joe Mavretic, I'll start with you.
I wish I'd have had time to respond to John's comment about median household income. If you look at North Carolina's place in the 50 states with regard to average national median household income, for the last 15 or 20 years, we've been $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year below median household income. What that means is that the average North Carolina household would have about $100 to $120 a week, or maybe $300, $400, $500 a month extra income if we just earned the national average income. When I think about this, what our school system from K all the way through the universities is supposed to do is graduate good citizens with the skills needed in the marketplace and the ability to enjoy life. Well, the skills needed into the marketplace in North Carolina produces a below national average income. And that's the responsibility of education in North Carolina, top to bottom, which consumes half of our general fund and half of every county's budget.
Interesting. Crisford Simon, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show?
Well, we talked about HB2, obviously, as we have to do. It's a big issue in this gubernatorial election. And I mentioned a couple of weeks ago in this show, I think that one of the things I find underreported is for all the governors, and for that matter, the lieutenant governor is at least a little more outspoken about it. Governor McCrory, I think, is trying to play both sides of this issue, and yet his attorneys argued before a federal court that transgender people are mentally ill and need treatment, not protection from discrimination. And he used to make that claim, he used an organization that believes gay kids should be cured of being gay, which is obviously a farce and widely discredited. So the governor's been forced into some unpleasant company, and I think that some folks who are paying attention to this, I think that's really hurt him.
John Hood, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show?
When the education scores came out that we talked about, there was some focus on third grade reading. Remember that we had the Read to Achieve law.
Right.
We had last year when the numbers came out, a lot of people celebrated. They saw an increase in the third grade reading scores. They didn't quite see the same trend this year, and there was kind of a muted response about that. I'm glad, because there should have been a muted response all along. You got a program like Read to Achieve, you initiate it, you've got to give it a number of years. You're simply not going to get huge, giant, immediate increases from any kind of education reform. And I was glad to see there wasn't a lot of panicky or hyperventilation about the scores this year in third grade. They're going to blip up and down. What we want to look at is longer-term trends. And if that program or any other program is successful, we'll see it over time.
Interesting. David Diamond, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show?
When we talked about the high school graduation rate, that's very controversial in my opinion. It used to be a kid failed class, you made him repeat it in summer school, made him repeat the class. I'm telling you, we're learning to play the data game. If you're interested in the bottom line, you want my graduation rate to go up, I can get it to go up. I can graduate some people who probably shouldn't be graduating. I can fix that figure as long as the state puts the pressure on the local school boards and the high schools for graduation rate. I can get you a better graduation rate. Now, at some point, are the business people going to realize that maybe who we're graduating cannot go to work in their plant or their business, or they can't make enough money to buy their product?
Or need lots of remediation when they go to community college or university? There needs to be some thorough discussion and study about high school graduation rate. It's not what you think it is. Interesting. Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.